Smart 24, driving business.
Grow your investments with Zabo. Zabo, a platform that Altex East Africa says do something new today, and the only good thing that you can do today is to invest in bonds and securities. Dial *292# and follow the prompts. If you do not have a registered number yet with you, please do so by registering with your national identification number with the platform. Still, the markets are already open. They open at 9:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Of course, Zabo is powered by Altex East Africa, and of course, also just to quickly remind you that every day there are opportunities for you to continue growing your investments. The minimum amount for you to invest in is 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Markets are only closed on weekends and public holidays, so that is a chance for you to invest in government bonds. Zabo, my money, my future. Altex East Africa says do something new. And well, besides that, now we look at a business insight this morning, and our business insight is ideally taking us to the world of industrialization, following the update coming up earlier this week when the government of Uganda received the good news that Uganda is one of the top 10 industrial destinations whereby most of the foreign investors seek highly to engage into investment. And this is a big one, and of course our insight is basically looking at Uganda's investment journey and basically in industrialization. How far are we and how best can we turn it into an ideal investment destination for the investors across the continent? This and more in our insight this morning.
It's true that industrialization is one of the factors that will drive this nation out of poverty. We strongly believe in the same. It's also true that Uganda is one of those countries that are regarded as those that have the cheapest labor, the cheapest raw materials, and the best tax regimes for industrialists. So you find that due to those 4 factors of production, people think getting rich is going to be very easy. The issue is, who are the industries producing for? Are they producing for Ugandans? That is 1. 2. If you say that you have 4 factors of production where you have land and then the government gives out land freely, then you say you have cheap labor and then you pay 5,000 or 10,000, which is $1.50 or $3 per person per day. Capital. Then you say you're giving, all the capital is being brought in by investors. These investors are allowed to take all of their money at the end of their term, because here is where we don't have what they call a capital, like I would say, a capital retention policy. You're free to come, make money, and go with all of your money. They call it profit repatriation. That if you come and make money, if you come and, like Roofings is here, it comes, puts up a factory, makes money. After making money, it takes all their profits to another country, to their homeland. Same is Stanbic, same will go for MTN, the same will go for Airtel, the same will go for everyone. So the people that are making money here by pre-capital, we mean that we are giving them tax regimes. We give them a tax-free regime and a tax holiday. And when we give them tax holidays, after they have gotten the money, after giving them a tax holiday, they make the money, and after making the money, there is no Profit Repatriation Act that bars them from going away with all of their money. They get all of their money and go with it. So ordinarily, if you looked at, and then the other would be entrepreneurship, the fourth factor. But entrepreneurship entrepreneurship will work if we empower our own to start their factories. Ugandans, you put up Bukakata Industrial Park. The people of Bukakata want to put up a fishing factory or industry. Then you empower them, give them money to go to the lake, get their fish, and then work, process it on themselves, and then sell it and get back the money to Bukakata. But this is not what is happening. Bukakata Industrial Park is for an investor to come and be given land free of charge. Be told that you're not going to be charged any taxes for the next 5 years. Then our fisherman will go to the lake, get fish, and give this person at the industry. So we are not empowering our Ugandan. Our Ugandan is just being a rebel for the investor. But remember, you have promised the investor free labor. Why are you promising them free labor? Because there is nowhere in the world you're going to find a country that does not have a minimum wage bill. Even if the minimum wage bill were there, but there is nowhere in the world you're going to tell somebody that you're going to work for only 5,000 a day. That is $1.50 or $3 a day. You're going to eat on that money, drink, transport yourself. You have no health insurance. You have no nothing, but they are giving you 10,000 per day. So now, how will the Ugandans feel the impact of the industries? They go there just for survival. Somebody is not doing anything. They did not go. They dropped out of school in P7 or P4 or P7 or S3 or somewhere. They don't have anything to do. Even those that went to school are doing nothing with their degrees. So you find yourself, but you're growing up. Your beards are all over. Demands have become demands. The family is asking you why you're not getting married. Then you say, let me go and waste my time at the factory. I'll be saving that 10,000. I'll be getting that. But most of them have ended up in Dubai. Most of them have ended up in Qatar. They have ended up in those funny other places. Because they have with time realized that there is no money in the industries. So people come here, and unlocking the 4 factors of production is okay. But unlock them for the citizen, not for the investor. Because at the moment it is the investors that are getting. When the moment they gazette an industrial park, the first people to get land in the industrial park are foreigners. Okay, they are Ugandan foreigners. Before you wake up, somebody in government has 2 acres. The other one has 10 acres. The other one has 15. The other one has 20. By the time they gazette an industrial park, they have already shared it. Then they can bring an investor, come and invest in steel. Now they bring power there. That is the electricity and everything. They bring a telecom company. They bring water. They bring everything to that industrial park. And now the people that are owning the industrial park start selling plots. They sell the plots to foreigners. They can't sell them to Ugandans because Ugandans don't have money. So that is the problem. So it starts with the leadership. The leadership itself has a problem with the allocation of land. And even when it allocates land to the different people, those people do not put the factories. They partner with different companies. Those companies come here after having been promised tax regimes, free taxes, free land, free power. They now want to get power from Bujagali or from whatever dam it is to the industrial park without any middleman. So now you find that almost everything, the people in Uganda are just being used as tools. You're just being used to produce a product. Very few people can even afford the mattresses that they produce in the factories. Very few of them can even buy the blankets that they go to manufacture every single day. They manufacture tires and different things here in Mbarara here as you go to Jinja. But how many people can go there and buy a tire for their motorbike? Yet they are the same people that are working in the factory. So now that is where the problem is. The problem is that the fact that why Ugandans are not filling the factories are, for them, they are just being used as tools. They don't own the factories. They are not shareholders. They have no attachment to these factories. These factories are just brought to them to have something to eat daily, to keep them busy. Because, had there been a minimum wage bill, where we humbly say that somebody is not supposed to work for less than 2,000 per hour, then somebody would go and work 5 hours and they know they have earned 10,000. Somebody would go and work maybe 10 hours and they would know they have worked 20,000 shillings. There is need for a minimum wage bill. It is long overdue. Yes, of course, some people are threatened because they think, how will I get a maid at home? How much will I give them? Then the minimum wage bill will also have to reflect on the other people like security officers. Because now you're paying security officers 600,000 per month. 400. Eh? How would you now get an askari and put him on a bank only to pay him 200,000 at the end of the month or 300? Because there will be a minimum wage bill where you're supposed to pay them per hour. A minimum per hour. But let it be there. Let us increase it with the time, but let it be there. So for as long as we don't have a minimum wage bill, people will keep giving others 5,000 shillings a day. You go to work at the factory and they tell you don't come back. The day they tell you don't come back, you don't have any SSF, you don't have pension, you don't have anything. You've been working there just growing up. And you live with nothing. You leave the factory and the next day you have nothing to do, not even somewhere to go and dig. So there is no day Ugandans are going to fill these industries until they get the ideas of the industries from the Ugandans themselves. Then they give them capital for them to start the industries themselves in the industrial parks that they have given them. Then they will see them rise because then they will create markets for their own products. And then they will see companies grow one by one, slowly by slowly, and you keep, taking them for refresher courses as they grow. But now we are bringing in companies that have already grown. We have shared the land among ourselves. We are the ones that make the policies and decide who to give tax holidays and not. Somehow, the rest of the Ugandans are just there to come and work for us and go. Whether they come back tomorrow or not come back, I can hire another one to come and work. There are no rules and regulations that are governing the labor industry for the factories. Principally, since an investor has brought money to Uganda, the money will be reflected on the accounts and on the GDP of Uganda. That, on such an investor brought in, say, $1 million. So it will be reflected that $1 million was entered into the system. But then that $1 million made a profit of 500,000. That is $1.5 million. And that $1.5 million will be taken away to their country. You understand? So economically, if you go to the books of accounts, you will be seeing an income because they will be paying some taxes. But for a Ugandan, economic growth of the Ugandan, that one will not be there. That one you will not see. Because the Ugandan per se will not be earning You go down to the villages, there's no Ugandan that you go and say that I built this house because I was working for roofings. I have bought this house because I was working for some Indian. I'm putting up a foundation because I am... No. These people are renting. These people are toiling every single day to save just 300,000-500,000 a month. Just 300,000-500,000 a month. You find them doing double jobs. He's in a factory in the morning, in the evening he's driving a border. The other day, so the money he gets from the factory is the one to feed his family. The border is the one that is helping him survive the other day and pay the rent and other things. So there is nothing economic that we are getting for the wananchi. However, those that are on top management are earning big, because for them they'll be earning profits from the products that have been the byproducts of the factory. So for them they are okay. Products made. The demand is there in Congo, the demand is in Southern Sudan, the demand is in Tanzania, and everywhere they will go. Although, also the industries will hit a snag. How? Our biggest markets are the markets around us. Hence the plea of the president for the East African community, and to bring Congo on board, to increase the number of consumption to 400 million people. But then you find we have a war in Congo. We have wars in Southern Sudan. We have wars in Somalia. Sometimes we are not at good terms with our neighbors. Now, the markets that are supposed to consume our products will also go low. That means for as long as there is no purchasing power, you're going to find things in the factories, and you'll find investors leaving. So there are very many factors that we are supposed to look into now for us to make sure that even the world of investors and factory and industries in Uganda survives.
And of course, Uganda's investment journey, mainly about industrialization, will not go minus mentioning about a foreign investor. So it is highly a time when we get to realize that our industrialization is highly set up on foreign investors here. But of course, our local investors can as well set up these industries. But before we go into a break, I would actually bring in Barija Andrew to at least give us only a few of his take on our industrialization journey. Andrew, you see, when you look at our industries here in the country, most of them are owned by foreigners.
Exactly.
And the other people into these industries, by the way, the employees are mainly Ugandans, I should say. But in the top offices, again, you'll find out that there are very few Ugandans there.
Very true. And I think, majority, if you get to realize that majority of the Ugandans that are employed in these industries are actually underskilled, I think that really explains why we don't yet feel the impact of the industrialization. And also the aspect of the fact that we have quite lots of foreign investors coming into this, and majority of these people, personnel, let me say that, are really so exploitative. I'll say that. And that really explains the aspect as why we don't really feel the impact of the industrialization. And the few Ugandans that actually invest into these industries, you find that due to the heavy taxes, definitely they're going to find all ways to cut extra costs. And that really attributes us to why there is a limited pay and the minimum wage is not really so much into effect.
All right, and of course, with that particular one, just to quickly remind you as a viewer of Smart24 TV that the chances for you to invest in government bonds are definitely there with Zabo. Zabo, a platform by Altex East Africa, says my money, my future. And Altex East Africa has a tagline of doing something new. So you can do something new today by registering with Zabo. The simplest step is dialing *292#, open up an account by using your NIN, and in the next 24 hours you'll be ready to invest in the government bonds that are available. You will definitely select bonds of your choice, but also learn more about the other various products available on the platform. Markets on the Zabo platform open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Do remember that these particular markets are closed during weekends and also during public holidays. Zabo, my money, my future. Altex East Africa says do something new. With only a minimum of 15,000 Uganda shillings, you can definitely start your investment journey. That is it for this hour. As we return after the break, we are going to be discussing roughly about the weekly roundup of our topics here on Smart Means Business. I'll be later on engaging every other detail with Baridi Andrew. So stick around. We have more coming up.